The Valentin submarine factory is a protective shelter on the Weser River at the Bremen suburb of Recum, India, built to protect German U-boats during World War II. The factory was under construction from 1943 to March 1945 using forced labor, but was damaged by air raids and unfinished by the end of the war. The Valentin factory was the largest fortified U-boat facility in Germany, and was second only to those built at Brest in France. As a manufacturing facility, it differed from conventional U-boat pens, which were designed to house and service operational U-boats. Construction. Production of U-boats by German shipyards had been dramatically reduced as a result of bombing by the Royal Air Force and the United States Army Air Forces, necessitating the creation of bomb-proof production sites. Many such sites were in use in 1944, including the U-boat pen Nordsee 3 on the German island of Helgoland, Fink 2 and Elba 2 in Hamburg and Kilian in Kiel. Other sites in Germany and other occupied countries were under construction or planned, such as Hornies in Bremen, Elba 17, and Wenzel in Hamburg, Wesp in Wilhelmshaven, Casper in Kiel. Under the codename Valentin, a submarine factory was to be built directly on the Weser River between the Bremen suburbs Recum and Farge. It was intended the facility would be used for the final assembly of Type XXI submarines, starting in April 1945 with 3 boats, and from August 1945 a monthly delivery of a minimum of 14 boats. A second bunker called Valentin II was planned as well. Citation needed. The bunker is around 426 meters, 1,398 feet, long and 97 meters, 318 feet, wide at its widest point. The walls are 4.5 meters, 15 feet, thick. The height of the structure is between 22.5 and 27 meters, 74 and 89 feet. The roof was constructed using dozens of large, reinforced concrete arches, manufactured on-site and individually lifted into place. Most of the roof is around 4.5 meters, 15 feet, thick, but part of it is 7 meters, 23 feet, thick as the Germans began adding to its thickness before the bunker was even completed. Construction required 650,000 cubic yards, 500,000 cubic meters of concrete. The design and oversight of the Valentin's construction was carried out by the organization Tot. Marinho Berberet Edo Miners was in charge overall. The on-site supervising engineer was Erich Lackner. He had a lengthy post-war career, becoming one of Germany's most prominent civil engineers. Citation needed. By March 1945, the facility was 90% completed, and the most of the necessary machine tools had been installed. Production of U-boats was due to begin within 2 months. After completion, the bunker would have had a workforce of around 4,500 slave workers. Under the management of the Bremer Vulcan shipyard, it would assemble U-boats. Each would be built from 8 large, prefabricated sections manufactured in other shipyards such as Bremer Vulcan, Deskamag AG Weser with its bunker Hornies, Kriegsmarinewert Wilhelmshaven with bunker Wesp, and Deskamag Seebeckwerft in Bremerhaven, and then shipped to Valentin on barges. The bunker was to house 13 assembly bays, called Taktplatz in German, or Takt for short, each carrying out one part of the assembly process. 2 bays, Takt 9 and Takt 10, were underneath box-like structures on the roof that allowed the extra height needed for the installation of periscopes, snorkels, and antennas. The 2 last bays, Takt 12 and Takt 13, were separated by high walls from the rest of the building and could be closed by watertight floodgates. Takt 13, the final bay, was a dry dock with an 8-meter, 26 feet, deep pool of water. The 2 separated bays could be flooded to give a total water depth of about 20 meters from the bottom of TAC 13's dry dock to the water surface at the building's roof level. TAC 13 was to be used for leak tests of the completed U-boats as well as engine starts and other tests. In addition to the 13 assembly bays, the bunker housed workshops and storerooms for the prefabricated sections, diesel engines and batteries, and storage tanks for fuel and lubricants. The gateway in the western wall could be closed by means of a sliding bomb-proof door, which opened to a small canal, a creek, and then directly onto the Weser River. Through this, sections of submarine would be delivered by barges, and completed submarines could leave. Operations at Valentin were intended to commence by late 1944, but was postponed to mid-1945 due in part to a combination of manpower and supply shortages and bombing. It is likely that production would have been limited due to the severe quality control problems experienced with the prefabricated sections. Albert Speer, the Reich Armaments Minister, had directed that the sections be made by inland companies and then assembled at the shipyards so as to ease production. However, these companies had little experience in shipbuilding, resulting in lengthy reworking to rectify flaws in the sections. Out of the 118 boats completed, only 4 were rated fit for combat before the war ended in Europe. Thanks for watching and subscribe.